Okay, all right. What's up, guys? This video, I'm going to be talking about this haircut that I did for my friend Tavon, an upcoming stand-up comedian. So for this cut, he wanted like a mid bald fade, kept the C-cups. So right now we're just going in and combing out all the curls so we can go in with our guard with the grain. I start off with a 2, but then he realized that he wanted to go wavelength, so we did a 1.5 lever all the way closed. So I'm gonna say lever all the way closed a bunch of times in this video, and pretty much what it means is the lever essentially dictates how much hair you're going to be cutting off of the person's head. If you have a lever that's all the way open, you're going to be cutting the least amount of hair. If you have a lever all the way closed, you're going to be cutting more hair. So anytime I say lever open, just know that's what that means. Right now I'm just taking it down with that 2 guard that I was talking about before. But then I switch over to the 1.5 lever all the way closed. So it's the shortest length that the 1.5 guard can actually knock down. I don't know why I haven't been doing more of these videos. I feel like if you guys like it, then I will continue to make them. Right now I'm setting in my bald line. Normally when I set in my bald line, I'll try to go underneath the occipital, how do you say it? Occipital bone on the head. But for this guy's cut, he actually wanted the bald line to go a little bit higher up, I'm assuming, so the cut will last a little longer as well. So that's a tip too. If you go get a haircut, say bring my bald line up a little bit higher. And then I'm just pretty much removing all the hair underneath that bald line so I can go in and start doing my next steps for the cut. This is my dog Matrix as well. Matrix, yeah, so right now I'm going in and I'm setting the shape, I like to call it, for these C-cups, because since I'm a barber that doesn't use enhancements, I solely depend on my fading techniques to make sure that I can make the hairline pop. So right now I'm going in and using no guard, lever all the way open to create about an inch guideline up from that bald line that I made. So now I'm going up an inch and I just keep going over that same spot to make sure that it's all consistent and fluid, I guess. So then after this, I'll go in and as you can see right there, I move the lever so it's in the halfway position. So it's in between fully open and fully closed. So I'm going to knock down that bottom line that I just created to try to fade it even closer to the skin. Then finally, I close the lever all the way to make sure that I can get as close as possible to the skin to make that transition more natural. Now, right now, I'm going in with my 1 guard, lever all the way closed, and I'm going up about a half an inch just so I can create that next transition for going into the final guard. I start off with the 1 guard lever closed because it's just easier for me, I guess. All barbers are different. This next guard that I'm using is my 1.5 guard that I used with the top, but now we're going against the grain and I start off with the lever all the way open just for a precaution. I normally do lever all the way open to start off, so I make sure that I'm not going to put myself at risk of taking down too much hair right away, and then I slowly will start to close the lever as I'm using that same guard that I put on. As you can see right there, now I'm at the lever all the way closed for the 1.5 guard to make sure now that I can blend in the 1 guard to the 1.5 guard and so on. So now right here, I go back in with my 1 guard lever all the way open since we started off with the 1 guard closed and trying to get some of those harder to reach spots that the 1.5 guard couldn't bring down. That's what that 1 guard is for. And now slowly we'll go back to the 1 guard lever all the way closed to then kind of connect the 2 fully. Sounds like a lot of steps. I definitely think that my process could be a little bit more simpler. So if you're a barber watching this, give me some tips and tricks as well to how I can improve my technique. And then finally I go in with my 0.5 guard. I do lever halfway open just because it's just enough to help me get out that guideline that I made with the first lever closed. So that's what I do there, and then it's just detail work from there. You go in with your no guard lever all the way open and just kind of toggle the lever open and close to kind of get those darker spots here and there. I can see right here, like right above that ear, if you look closely, there's a spot that I probably should have hit a little bit deeper, but it's whatever. It's a fade. It's not going to be perfect all the time. So yeah. So now going into the beard, he wanted to keep the beard full, but we decided to taper it in so it can have a smooth transition. So I do the same process, like no guard, lever all the way open, and then the 1 guard with the lever closed, and then the 1.5 guard, lever all the way open, and just try my best to connect all of them together. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then I'm going to follow that up with I call them like my dull liners, just because the skin on the neck is more sensitive than the skin on the top of the head, in my opinion, from cutting other people and also giving myself haircuts. So I use these liners in particular to line up that hair so it's less sensitive on that skin, but all still giving like a clean shape. So that's what I do there. And now going into the lineup, I'm knocking down the front hairline lines down to about a 1.5 or a 1 guard, lever all the way open, just to make sure those hairs are a little bit shorter to have a cleaner and crisper lineup effect. So now when it comes to the lineup, me personally, I will do the vertical bars first. I know that is a common technique with a lot of barbers, doing the vertical lines first, so then you can measure both sides, make sure that they are somewhat accurate, and then going now and connecting both of the sides with the front part of the lineup. Right here with the vertical bar too, something that I used to always mess up with when I first started cutting hair was I'd push these bars really far back. So I can even ask my dad, there'd be times where I'd start cutting my own hair and I would push this bar so far back, you look at me like, who cut your hair? What happened? I'm letting it grow back, Dad. I'm learning. So now I'm doing the middle of the haircut, or the front of the lineup. And I start in the middle, and I can normally go all the way to one side and then connect it with the other side. But for this cut, I started in the middle and I slowly went back left and right to make sure that that line stayed pretty straight as I was connecting both of the vertical bars together. Doing this technique actually helps me create that point in the corner a little bit better than just doing that front lineup and then the vertical bars. I just find it easier to do the vertical bars first and then the lineup, especially since I'm not going to be using enhancements. I really have to make sure my technique is crucial for making my lines crisp and neat and make them pop. So right here I go in with those same duller liners and I'm doing the mustache lineup, and then I'll proceed to shape up the beard lineup to transition to the gel with the straight razor shave. This is actually a funny shot because he's trying to act very serious, but I feel like the mustache lineup is one of the most unserious moments during a haircut. Like, I don't even know how to explain this. Like, this guy's so close to my face and he's lining me up. I gotta make sure I don't laugh, but then that idea of that is just too funny in my opinion. So now going in and I'm shaping up the rest of the beard underneath the neck, and I use those dull liners again because the neck hair is super sensitive. So if you go in with like the same liners you'd use to line somebody up, you're most likely gonna cut them just because the neck hair is extremely sensitive. So there's that, excuse me. Now I'm going in and doing the beard lineup with the gel and the straight razor. So what this entails is I go in and I apply the shaving gel on the line that I'm about to line up, and then I go in with my straight razor, as you can see, and I'm making that shape as natural as possible. I don't want to push too deep into the already natural line that is created, but I want to at least give it an effect that he is getting a haircut, that he is, getting cleaned up. So that's what I'm doing right now. And then after I shave all that skin down, I actually come in with a paper towel and wipe all that excess skin off, so then I can go back in right now and then reshave it so it gives it a little bit more crisper look. And then finally I go in with those dull liners and I flick out any extra hairs that may have been in the line of that beard lineup. And I do that same exact process on both sides, so that's what you can see right here. But then I will transition now into doing the straight razor lineup work. Now my liners, I probably have to get new blades because like right off the initial cut, they don't cut as sharp as I'd like, but that's why I depend on using my razor my straight razor to make the final lineup look extremely crispy, because you can only do so much when you're not using enhancements. And some people are like, just use enhancements, bro, just do it, da, da, da. But I'm like, nah, because with this technique, like, the haircut lasts even longer for the client. And you know, I'm trying to give the client the most bang for their buck. So if I give them a high quality cut that they can see is lasting longer, you know, they're gonna come back, and that's always good for me. So I'm just finishing off the cut with the straight razor, hitting those C cups, making sure everything is crispy and symmetrical. That's a big thing. So here's his before. That's how he came in, looking a little homeless. No offense, Tevon. And that's after, looking like he's gonna go do a stand-up comedy show. So yeah, he's an up-and-coming stand-up comedy guy. So I'm gonna put his link to his description in.
Crispy. Oh, crispy. Crispy as a motherfucker. Woo, look at the fade. Look at the. Yeah. I might have just walk around Walmart for 2 hours. Show this shit off. There we go.
Holy shit. I'm gonna put his link to his bio in the description below, so you can go follow him on Instagram and all that stuff. So yeah, this was that video. I hope you learned something. And this was Cameron Safak, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.